Waiters and waitresses of Reddit, what is the most awkward date you've ever witnessed on the job? I worked at an upscale seafood restaurant for about a year. One particular woman would bring in a different date each week, and every single time she was there she would erect this barrier between her and the date. I'm talking salt and pepper shakers, menus, dishes, drinks. Whatever she could get her hands on she would construct a physical barrier out of and then carry on with the date as if things were completely normal. The confusion and distress on the faces of the men she would bring in was always my favorite part of Saturday night. I used to do that to my brother with cereal boxes as a kid, never as an adult on a date. Because dating your brother as an adult is weird. It was clearly an internet date and the guy showed up first looking excited. 20 minutes later a kind of busted-looking woman came in and sat down with him. They were my only table at the time so I was paying pretty close attention to them. They each order a drink and before he's halfway through his, she orders another, and another, and another. He's looking at me kind of desperately at this point but there's not too much I can do except keep a close eye on her behavior. She starts crying after the fourth drink and tells us both that she just got dumped last night. Both the dudes and my eyes are wide and I excuse myself politely. They eat, sort of, and she orders 2 more drinks. He asks for the check at the end and I bring separate ones. He tips 100% and gives me his number. She pays in exact change. He tips 100% and gives me his number. She pays in exact change. Clearly this was a clever ploy for him to get with you via pity. She was the ultimate wingman. And she got to get drunk. That's a win-win situation. Not a date, but an event to announce a divorce. Dude came with his wife. Little late for their reservation. No problem, it wasn't busy. So I sit them down, offer some drinks etc. They order a bottle of the most expensive champagne we have. Wow, okay. Well, as the time goes, food starts to come out for them. As I walk to the table, the dude with a straight face tells his wife, "I'm leaving you. I've contacted a lawyer. He should speak to you soon." She was shocked, but kept it together while I awkwardly put the food on the table. As soon as I left, she stood up and went towards the barrooms. Dude called me over. He paid the bill, got up and left. So there is this. That reminds me of how my mom decided to tell my sister and me she was divorcing our dad. The 3 of us were sitting at Applebee's. The waitress comes over to ask what we want to drink, and I ask my mom if I can get a soda. She promptly turns to the waitress, looks her dead in the eye and says you get her whatever she wants. I'm about to divorce her father. Poor girl was so uncomfortable. Jesus. That's absolutely horrifying. Who would do that to their children? Nobody should ever be forced to go to Applebee's. I had a guy, at the end of the meal, after drinks, appetizers, the best entrees in the menu, a luscious chocolate mousse cake, and champagne. This guy says to me when I ask if there will be anything else, "What can I do to guarantee I'll get laid tonight?" His date turned beet red and gap-jawed. I said, "I think you were pretty much well on your way, until you said that." His date just said, "Yup." A man in his 70s with his wife who was 22 had to check her ID when she ordered a beer. His wife was obviously a lesbian by the conversation I heard them having, but not sure what the reason was that they were married. Dude was probably loaded. This girl and guy came into the restaurant I used to waitress at, and I could tell right away she wasn't into the guy but that he was really into her. She was on her phone the majority of the time, and every time I'd walk past or go over to them she was talking about an ex. Even asked me to take a picture of them and she said she was going to post it for him to see. When I would see him talk, she either didn't seem to notice because she was on her phone or would just nod, shake her head. The guy looked so uncomfortable. He seemed really excited at the start of the date, but I could tell how disappointed he was by the end of it. She didn't seem interested at all, and it was clear she had gone out with him just to piss her ex off. Who paid? The guy paid. Related but also unrelated. Do not break up with someone at Wagamama's. The tables are communal bench setups and I felt way too involved into this couple's argument considering all I wanted to do was enjoy my ramen. Sad face. My mistake. I thought I ordered the ramen with spicy miso, but it looks like I got the one with shrieking harpy and 6 years of regret. Not a waitress but too funny not to share. Was out with hubby and my best friend at a restaurant best described as casual fine dining. A suit or tie would nt seem out of place but they still do happy hour. We're on the patio having dinner and working our way through the martini menu. For some reason we decided we wanted to sample all 12 that night, when a woman gets seated near us. Waitress tells her that she'll bring her companion over when he arrived. SHE's dressed pretty smartly. Black pumps, black pencil skirt, blush-colored blouse, very businesslike. Her date on the other hand arrives about 5 minutes later wearing a matching pants, jacket, navy blue Adidas tracksuit. The woman looks pretty mortified but sticks it out and we get to hear a few snippets of the conversation as we enjoy our martinis. YHE guy spends the first 30 talking pretty much non-stop about everything under the sun and then starts saying what the kids would look like. This lady starts shooting my husband these pleading looks of OMFG, help me. So when she excuses herself to go to the washroom for the 4th time in under an hour, best friend and I follow her to ask if she wants to be rescued. She ended up deciding in the bathroom that the date was over and actually went back to the table to thank him for dinner before paying their entire bill and leaving. Guy had been talking so much he was only halfway through his entree but she told him to stay and finish his meal. He even tried to go in for a kiss as she was saying farewell but she saw it coming and turned like a Jedi to avoid. After she leaves, he pulls out his phone and calls his mom to tell her that he just had an amazing date with this woman and he thinks she might be the one. Don't think I've ever laughed so hard in my life. Oh man, I've been on the receiving end of being on a date with a non-stop talker. I literally didn't say a word for an hour and a half. We went to Starbucks and there was a guy working on his laptop for the entirety and he kept shooting me these half-pitying half-laughing faces. It ended with my date looking at his watch and popping out of his seat and leaving cause he had plans that night. Leaving me with my ass in the seat. Laptop guy legit burst out laughing. Ice cream shop employee. So not quite a waitress. But the couple were at least 16 and were being chaperoned by the girl's mother, who insisted on taking photos every few minutes. Not just candid photos, but posed ones. Taking their ice cream and getting out the door with it took nearly 20 minutes because the mom wouldn't stop. The girl seemed pretty embarrassed by her mom's behavior, and the boy looked immensely uncomfortable with the whole situation. But you two look so cute. Now put the cones above your head like you're unicorns. I watched a guy proposing to his girlfriend. She said she couldn't marry him because she was pregnant with his brother's child and she loved him more. I was shocked and they didn't leave either right away. They had a nice dinner, she ate, he cried. And then she told him she didn't have any money so he paid. Then she told him he had to be out of their shared apartment by tomorrow afternoon because his brother was moving in with her. What the f? Yeah, seriously. What the f? Yeah, seriously. What the actual f?